Welcome back. Day 10? Day 10. Hold on. My handy dandy notebook over here. I really want to get like a Steve sweater and just have like a little blue. Anyway, we're not going to talk about Blue's Clues. Welcome back to Travel Agency in a Year podcast. My name is Rachel, Rachel K. Hey, Rachel K. And I am your host to help you build a travel agency in a year that is sustainable for your lifestyle and your goals, not what somebody else is telling you need to do. Okay. So today's episode, daily versus weekly in terms of scheduling. What works for you? I think for the majority of us, and like in the previous episode, I talked about, if you are working a full time job, give yourself 2 hours a week, or you're a stay at home parent, give yourself, 2 hours a week. 2 hours a week? No, 2 hours a day to work on different aspects in your business. And I kind of gave some examples of like you could do it this way, you could do it this way, or that way, or the other way. So today is if you are like in it to win it, doing this full time, and you have the ability to do things your way. You could also do this if you have other obligations, but I'm not saying that it would work well if you only have like a 2-hour time block. So what works for most of us, because we've all been indoctrinated / maybe low-key brainwashed by the school system as children, is to work in approximately 90-minute blocks and break, 90-minute blocks and break. And it's not just that. I'm not going to go full conspiratard here. But that's usually how most people can be productive, is like you can't marathon everything in your life, right? You've got to be able to stop and take breaks. So, with that being said, in elementary school, high school, college, you have like a 60 to 90 minute class session, and you're focusing only on that subject. And then you're going to have a break of some amount of time. Could be 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Ugh, I hated the 3-minute break when I was in high school. We're not going to talk about that. Well, we will. Right now, my locker was in the basement of this super old building, and all of my classes were on the third floor. And I had 3 minutes because I thought I was too cool for a backpack. So I had 3 minutes to run down the stairs to my basement locker, swap out, run upstairs, and then get to the classroom. And oftentimes that school, there would be massive fights in like the stairwells, or at the stairwell where I needed to be, like at the top. There'd be this huge fight, and I'd be like, ugh, and I'd have to run downstairs and go all the way across the building and then back up. And sometimes there'd be a fight on either end, and I'd be like, is the other fight broken up? Anyway, I don't know how I made it to class on time ever. Okay, so you have your little break, and then you have a lunch break. In elementary school, they usually have recess as well, and then you're done for the day, right? So if you are doing this full time, and you don't have a lot of other disruptions, or maybe your children are at school all day and you have until 3:30 or 4 when they get off the bus and get home, whatever. Um, you can break it up into 60 to 90-minute time block sessions for each quote unquote subject in your business. That is one way to do it. I like to do it that way because I can always build on things and not have to like focus only on one task all day long. That's how I do things personally. Like I'll have meetings primarily scheduled on Mondays. But the rest of the week, I have my marketing, but it's like a different task. And I do a little bit of marketing Monday through Thursday. Friday is my analytics day. And I do a little bit with operations and administrative stuff every single day. Like I answer emails twice a day. And I time block everything off. If you are brand new to time blocking and you have no idea how long a task takes you, definitely overestimate by about 15, maybe 30 minutes, and then review it after a month. And you're like, no, I only spend 30 minutes on this. Then shorten that time block. Okay. So that's kind of how I like to prefer to do it. But some of you, and I know some of my colleagues and like people I've mentored, people on my team, they like to have 60 to 90-minute sessions focusing on one task and like focus on that task all day long and just get it done for the week. So everyone's a little bit different with how they do things. But I am telling you, you should give yourself some breaks, especially since this is a sedentary job. And you could do as little as like 45-minute breaks if you want to. Like every 45 minutes, give yourself like a 5 or 10 minute break. Don't put pressure on yourself to work through things. Stop. You can use the timer on your phone. And I'll talk about the Pomodoro technique here in a second, but you can use the timer on your phone to help you stay on track with things. And I also like to have all the time blocking on my phone as well with notifications that set off about 10 minutes prior to when I need to switch to the next task. So that I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to take this break right now. And I know I need to wrap things up with this task and prepare myself for the next task, right? So, if you're very, very sedentary, fun fact research shows, because I care about our physical health too, if you just take a break from your desk every 45 minutes and do, I think it's either 10 or 20 body weight squats, it's the equivalent of, I think, a 30-minute or 60-minute walk daily. Like it'll help with your blood glucose levels on that level, like on the same level as taking a daily walk. So that's one way you could force yourself to move. And if you can get outside for like a quick walk in your breaks instead of doing body weight squats, that really, really helps clear your head and it can help you with your creativity, help you streamline processes. Like you could have just like random ideas come to you too. So I do recommend having some break time to like actually move your body. Because trust me, I've been there where I'm like, wait a minute, 204 steps all day? Like, that is not healthy. Gee, I wonder why my back hurts so much. Okay, let's take care of ourselves, people. Another thing that you could do is the Pomodoro technique. And this was something my former partner at TA Toolbox, before we even started TA Toolbox, I introduced this concept to Janet, where she and I would call each other quite often. We just have each other on speakerphone. And sometimes we would talk so much we wouldn't get things done. And so I was like, Janet, let's do the Pomodoro technique. We got to shut up for 20 minutes and set a timer. And then we'll get a 5-minute break where we can talk because I've got work to do. You've got work to do. And we are not getting work done being on the phone all the time. But it also really sucks working from home and you have no one to talk to. And you might be in like a mood where you want to talk to somebody, right? So that's kind of how Janet's co-working sessions were born. I don't have the link, but they're on Facebook. There's a Facebook group. I don't know what it's called, but co-working sessions is what they are. They're free to join as far as I know. And I don't know how often that she does them. I think it's twice a week right now. I don't know if she's going to have more sessions, but basically it's the Pomodoro technique. You do 20 minutes on, 5-minute break. So 20 minutes of focused work, zero distractions, no music, no TV, no nothing, just focus for 20 minutes. And then you get a 5-minute break where you can get up, go to the bathroom, scream if you're having a bad day. And then after you do 5 sessions of that, then you can take a 20-minute break. And you would be surprised if you. So, yesterday's episode, I talked about padding your goals. If you give yourself less time to do something, you're still going to get it done. Like, you'll still get it done. So, if you're like, in the next 20 minutes, I need to run 6 payments and send this proposal off, you will get it done. You might run 30 seconds over, but if you're like, it has to be done in this 20 minutes, you're going to get it done. Okay. So, I'm just stressing it's important to take breaks throughout your day. And you can set your schedule up how you want it to look. When you're doing your time blocking, you don't have to follow exactly what I do. You don't have to follow what everyone else, like anyone else is doing, but what works for you. And when you're doing your time blocking, this is all a scientific experiment, by the way. Not everything is going to work for you, especially if you're like, I'm not sure if this is going to work for me. So try it out. Test it for 1 month, maybe up to 3 months. And if things are not going as you hypothesized, then this is not a theory that works for you scientifically, and you need to change the variables and retest. Okay. So if you think that, okay, if I do only marketing on Mondays and I only do client communication and consultations on Tuesdays, and you're like, yes, this is what's going to work for me, definitely. And then you get into it and you're like, I can't keep focused. I'm bored because I'm just stuck on the same task all day. Then you might consider switching to breaking up smaller time chunks to focus on every aspect of your business each day, or vice versa. Like if you just feel like you don't have enough time to get everything done with the smaller time chunks, then you could opt for this whole day is dedicated to this aspect of my business. Now, again, you do need time daily to answer emails and manage any client issues. Um, so take that into consideration. Oof, I'm losing my voice again, per usual. And I accidentally went out of order. It's fine. So tomorrow is going to be creating your PTO and why you need to have PTO in your business.